everyone, I am back with a Christmas craft. I'm kind of coming out of my turkey coma from Thanksgiving, and I decided that in order to get into the spirit of Christmas and the mood to decorate, I would do a small, inexpensive craft. Now, this is an idea that I saw on another video, so this is not my original idea, but I thought it was really nice, so I said, I'm going to try that and see how easy it is to do, and well, why not show you as I'm doing it? Okay, so I went to the Dollar Tree. This was a Dollar Tree Christmas craft idea. And so I decided that, okay, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to get all my supplies from the Dollar Tree to create this lantern that was created in the other video. So I found these bells. As you can see right here, they're pretty and they're lacy. Again, they're from the Dollar Tree, so they were only $1. You can go somewhere else and get something a little more expensive if you like, but these are perfectly fine, and they're sturdy. They're very nice, actually. I've used these before in another project a few years ago, and I think I may show you in another video what I did for that. If I can remember exactly, if not, I'll just create something that gives you the idea of what I had done before. Okay, anyway, so I got 4 of these because I wanted to make 2 lanterns, and I'll be showing you why. And also to create the lantern, as I said, also from the Dollar Tree, I got these little glass candle holders. They're little tea light holders is what they are. These can be used this way, this way. You can use this in many different ways. And I got 2 of those, so that I can do 2 lanterns, as I said. Also from the Dollar Tree, I got these little packet, and there's 5 of these gold snowflakes. They're really pretty. They're kind of elegant looking, and they're not very thick. They're thin. Let me pull them out, or yeah, there we go. Here we go. It's a little ornament that'll hang in the tree. Now the front of it is kind of raised a little bit so you can feel the texture. The back are just really flat. Since they're so inexpensive and you want the ornament to look a little bit nicer, you could glue them back to back and make a nicer looking ornament so that when it twirls around you can see the 3D on both sides. It's not really that much 3D, but I think you get what I mean, because this side is like really flat, and if you're like me, you want both sides to look the same if it's gonna kind of turn around, or you can see it from. Anyway, this is another idea that has nothing to do with the one that I'm gonna do, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think I will do that anyway. So you might want to put them back to back. There's 5 of them in here. You'll have one left over. You can use this for something else, or just use 2 of them, one for each, and there you go. You have plenty more of these snowflakes to use on something else. Again, 5 of them for $1. It's a great buy. Okay, also for my lantern, I'm going to need some sort of light, and I could use those little tea lights that you either light up yourself, or I could use the ones that are battery operated, which would be safer. And then, well, I found these candles. These are LED pillar candle, also again from the Dollar Tree, only $1. And these have these little thing on the bottom. You just pull it out and turn it on, and there you go, the little light, and it even flickers a little bit. I didn't even know that it did that. I thought it was pretty, and I got it in this ivory color because I thought it was pretty neutral. And I've got 2 of them, one for each lantern, so that's what I'm going to use. Also, you could get some your ribbon if you want to add some ribbon. Now, the original video, the lady made them just simple. She did not add any ribbon or any additional decor to them, but I may add some additional decor. I did have some ribbon already at home. I could have purchased it at the Dollar Tree because they have some really pretty Christmassy ribbons, and you can find something that'll kind of coordinate with what you have. I decided that I want to do like a little gold ivory kind of a thing here, and I may add some red berries. I do have some red berries, and I can see them right now, and I might put them in there. Maybe I'll spray paint them gold. I don't know. But anyway, I had this ribbon already at home, as you can see there, and I decided that, well, I'm just going to upcycle the ribbon that I already have. If you have some already at home, you could just use that. You don't need very much. Maybe a foot of, 12 inches of ribbon for each one. Make a simple little bow, unless you want to go a little more elaborate. Now, the rolls of ribbon that I have seen at the Dollar Tree have 3 yards of ribbon, so it's plenty of ribbon 2 bows for 2 of these little lanterns, or you know, just depends on how many you want to make, but I think a foot of ribbon is enough for each bow. Also, what I'm going to need is some gold wire to make my lanterns, and I'll show you why. And I happen to have a scrappy bit of some gold wire on a little spool here. You can find these, you know, any craft store like Hobby Lobby, Michael's. You may even find them at the Dollar Tree, Walmart. Now, I already had the wire, so I didn't have to get that. If you don't have gold wire, you can't find any, you can go ahead and use just your regular floral wire that you might already have at home, like this. Or you could use the pipe cleaners or chenille stems, and sometimes you can find those in gold, and even a gold glittery kind of a look to them so that it'll match this. And you could just spray paint these other wires if you want. And I'm probably going to need about little 2-inch pieces, and I'll probably 2 pieces for each one, so I'll need 4. So I only need 4 little bits about this size, so I don't, if I had to paint it, I wouldn't have to paint that much. It's no big deal. But it won't even show, so you don't have to do that. Now you also need some styrofoam, and I also bought this at the Dollar Tree because they do have blocks of styrofoam, and they have them in different little sizes. And I just bought 1 block, and I'm only going to need a tiny little piece to fit in each one of these here, and I'll show you why. So again, only $1, and it's great because I just need to use 2 little pieces, and I can save the rest of it for some other project. To create my craft, I'm going to need some tools, and I'll need some wire cutters to cut wire. I'm going to need little pliers to twist my wire, and I'll show you how. I'll need some scissors to obviously to cut off any labels and to cut the ribbon. I'm also going to use my wire cutters to cut little berry stems. We'll see if I actually do that. And then you're going to need your glue gun, your hot glue gun, and obviously some glue sticks to go in that. You could use a glue like E6000 for that. Now, to create my craft, I needed some spray paint, and I didn't see any spray paint at the Dollar Tree. I don't know if they do have any, but not in the one where I was at. So I went to Walmart because I do know that they have spray paint. So I went ahead and I got a can of spray paint from Walmart. And here's what I got. And this is a metallic bright gold, and this cost me, I think it was like $2.97 at the most, $3 or $2.47. I'm not really sure, but it was $3. So that's the other thing that you will have to probably purchase somewhere else unless you happen to have some. Now, you don't have to paint them gold. You can leave them just like that. But I wanted to paint them gold because that's how I saw it on the video, and I thought, I want to hide that part where the styrofoam's going to be, and so you're going to want to paint that or just cover it with something. Okay, so how much did I end up spending for all of this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. And if I had bought a spool of ribbon, that would have been 14, and some bits of change to make 2 lanterns, which are going to look really, really pretty, and I have confidence that they will. And if you're seeing this, they did turn out pretty. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove all my labels. I'm going to wipe this down a little bit, make sure I remove any oils from my hands or somebody else's hands from my glass. And then I'm going to take them outside and spray paint them. And as soon as they're dry, I will be back. All right, while I'm waiting for my candlesticks, which I've already taken outside to dry, it's kind of a dreary, cloudy day, so I feel like it's going to take quite a while for them to dry. And maybe today wasn't the perfect day to do this, but I've already started it, so I'm going to continue. So I'm going to take these snowflakes, and I've removed the little strings off of them. And you can see where the little hole here was to hang them. I'm going to not match up the holes, but rather hide the holes by putting them back to back where there isn't a hole. So here's the one with a hole, and here's the point without the hole. So I want to make sure I put them together so that when you're looking at it this way, even though there's a hole there, you really can't see through it. And now, that's no big deal. You could put them back like that with the holes. It's no big deal. You can do it either way. But before I glue them together, I decided that on my little bell, it has this little bit here on top where there was some string, or you could add your own different string or ribbon on there to hang them if you wish to hang them. I decided that that is where I'm going to place these snowflakes. So I'm going to put them back to back, And therefore I don't need to worry about this little hole showing because that's actually going to go in there. So I'm going to put them back to back. See, I've inserted them. One, I've inserted it through the back like that, and then the other I will insert through the front so that this little bit here, this little bit is between them like that. Okay, so I'm going to what I'm going to do in order to help myself with this is I'm going to apply a little bit of glue on this part of the hair, so when I put this down it'll kind of stick there, and even on this little part here, so it'll stick to that part and it'll stay there, and then I can add little drops of glue onto here and then insert the other one on the other side and then press them together. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's do that. Oh, there's a hair. Let's get that off. We don't need that. That's not part of our craft. All right, get some glue. Just a few little droplets, no big deal. There. And just press it so that it sticks. See how it's inside the little hole there? And get the other one. I'm going to turn this one around. Add some little dots of glue here and there. And some down here as well. And the side with a little hole can go, oops, the other way, the other way, the other way. Ah, there we go. Line them up and then press them together. Now this is now this a little snowflake. Now it has that dimensional side on both. It's very slight. You can feel it, and you can see how the other side is flat. I don't know if you can tell by looking at it that way. But see these little pieces where it's cut out? They've been pushed out towards this way. So on the other side, you don't see that. See, the little edges are nice and smooth, and they're rounded off because it's been pushed to the back, which is this. See the difference? Okay, that's what I want to hide, and because I'm going to put this like at a centerpiece, and there's going to be people on one side and another side of the table. Whichever way I turn it, they'll have this pretty side to look at, and they won't have this back side, which is not ugly. I just decided that I want to cover that. Okay, one more. Follow the same steps. You have to be careful because this little bell, is made out of a plastic, and I just noticed that there's a little crack on this one, a little crack right here, and it was pushed in, so I just went underneath and I pushed it back out, and so I'm just going to add a little bit of glue in there just to keep it. And you can't really see it because of the glitter, but if you feel like you can, you happen to have some glitter, just sprinkle some on there. Okay, so I put one side on there, and now I'm going to add the other. And yeah, anyway, because this is plastic, kind of a thin, even though it is kind of sturdy, you don't want to put too much hot glue because it kind of melts it a little bit and makes it soft, so you don't want to do that. So just be careful. And align these guys. Here we go. Press them together. Straighten them out a little bit. I feel like it's kind of crooked. There we go. Now it looks crooked. Even though, okay, so maybe it wasn't crooked. Maybe it was just my eyes. Do you know what it is? This little bit here, because when it cracked, the little bit there also broke off. See? That little bit broke off. So I'm just going to glue it down. No big deal. Put a little dollop of glue there. And then just hold it to where I feel like it's straight. And I'll be back. All right, so I am back with the candle holders, and I'm having a little bit of trouble with them, so I have two things to say. First, make sure your paint can be used on glass That's number one. This doesn't say it can't, but then again, it doesn't say it will work on glass. The second thing is you want to make sure that you spray paint them on a sunny day where not lots of nice heat will help them dry very well. Because I went outside and it was kind of a dreary day, so I went ahead and I did, and I kind of knew I shouldn't. It wasn't an ideal day to spray paint, but I went ahead and I did it because we're already December. It's December the 1st, and I want to get some of these crafts going, and I already had all the supplies for this, so I thought I'd get going on this and get myself in that spirit. And so I went ahead and I did it. When I went to go get them, they felt dry to my hand. Everything was fine. I picked them up, came inside. When I put them down, I had paint all over my fingers. More than this, I already took a lot of it off. And so it had come off. Yeah. So then I decided that I'd cover my little area here, put a little fan. Let me turn off the fan because that might be too much noise in here with that. Okay, so I even put a little fan on them to help them dry. And it's kind of helping, but anytime I touch them, the paint comes off. Now it's getting a kind of an interesting finish each time that happens, and I kind of like it. It almost looks like it's been leafed, gold leafed. So what the heck, right? I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and continue with the craft because I still think it's a really good idea, and if you follow and get the right kind of paint, do it on the right kind of drying situation, this will work out for you. And I like to make the best of a bad thing. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I need to cut out a piece for my styrofoam, and I didn't mention that you needed a little knife, and I have a little craft knife. It's just a regular knife, and I use it for, and I also got this at the Dollar Tree, by the way. Anyway, and I like to use this in my craft room. So I've cut out a little square that I thought was going to be about the size that would fit in here, and that's all I'm going to need for my little styrofoam block, and it's kind of long, so I'm going to cut it in half. And I want to make sure that it's just a little shorter than the height of my little holder here, my little candle holder. Do the same with both pieces. Okay, so I've got two little pieces here. They're about 1 inch tall or so. I don't have my measuring board here. Anyway, so now I'm going to cut off on the little corners to kind of round it off because I want it to fit in there, and I want it to kind of fit snugly in there. So just trim a little bit at a time till you can finally get it in there. And I need a little bit more removed. And there it is, nice and snug, and it's in there. So then the next thing you'll do is just drop some glue here on the little edges and to get it to, you know, adhere to the inside of this little glass container. Now I'm questioning how well it'll glue because some of the paint went in there, and since the paint was coming off, I feel like that's going to come off with the glue. So don't spray the inside. Maybe when you do it, put a little piece of paper in there, stuff it with some little paper, a little piece of foil in there so that paint won't fall in there. And then you have a clean surface, or use a better glue like a E6000 or Gorilla Glue. And I'm making a little bit of a mess here, but that's okay. And this is going to go in this one. So I trim off a little bit more. And just push it in. There we go. And add some glue in there. Like so. Okay, why do I want that styrofoam in there? I'm just pushing this very gently also with my finger because I went ahead and, like I said, and I just scratched some of the paint off. Okay, but then if you scratch it off, if you tap it with your finger and remove some of it, it kind of gives it an interesting little finish. I don't recommend you doing that unless you could actually see what I'm doing. So I don't recommend doing that. Anyway, this little part and the other two bells that I have are going to be inserted in there. So they're going to get pushed in. But I don't want to break this because even though it's kind of sturdy, it's not real hard. So I'm going to use my knife here to cut a little slit in here. And kind of move it around a little bit, make some room in there. You could use like a quarter or something. I think the lady in the other video, that's what she did. Okay, so I'm going to push that in, and that fits right in there. Perfect. So now I'm going to put some glue in there. That in there, like so. And this is the one part where I didn't see what she was doing, but I can see now, is that you probably want the styrofoam foam to be even lower so that the bell, actually, you know, I'm going to fix that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off some of that. I'm going to come back. I'm going to trim that. I'm off camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the more of the styrofoam, the top part, so that this little bell goes in further in so that you don't see the styrofoam. And I'll explain that. Let me show you what's happening now so you see the problem. See, you can see the styrofoam even when the bell's in there. I don't want to see it. So let's take it off and I'll be back. All right, so I've gone ahead and I fixed this one. As you can see now, the bell is now resting lower on the candle holder, and that's what I wanted. So I've gone ahead and I've done the same to this side. I've lowered the piece of styrofoam, but almost half of it actually, and I've gone ahead and made a little slit. I've glued this down again because I did pull it out completely. And I'm pouring some glue into the little slit where this is going to go, and just like that. And then I did pour some glue into the sides here that might be touching the edges. And then all you gotta do is just hold it for a little bit and let that dry so it, you know, stays in one place. Let's do the other side here a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna hold it for a little bit and I'll be back. All right, so now they've been stabilized a little bit more. This one doesn't seem to want to be level, and I keep trying to fix it, but if I keep doing that, I think I'm gonna crack it. So anyway, I'm gonna continue on, and now I've got my little 4 pieces of wire, and I've cut 2-inch pieces, and I've cut 4 because I need 2 for each one. And I'm going to take this other bell, put that on top, and what I'm going to do is I am going to put my wire through, let me get this closer. I'm going to put it through one of the holes from the bottom part, and then through the top, twist them together, and then I'm going to do it on another little spot over here so that I can create like a hinge. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wire a couple of little spots kind of close together, maybe 1 inch or 2 apart at the most, and create a hinge. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that where I create my hinge, it's with this part here. So it would either be here or on the back of it so that it opens up like that. It's not a big deal how that happens, but that's what I wanted to do. So I'm going to go ahead and thread the wire through one of the bottom holes, and now through one of the top holes, and then just kind of twist it. Oops, not too tight because you don't want it to come off. And make sure it's together. Twist it. Let's do another little piece. Let's curve it a little bit so it kind of goes through. And twist it. I'm scared to touch the bottom part because each time I do, some paint comes off. Okay, but I kind of like the effect of it. Okay, so now I had these little wire tools here. So I'm going to do is I'm going to bend these little bits inward. You could actually twist it also that it's actually on the inside rather than outside, but I'm just bending them so that they're not sticking out and poke someone and they're not obvious. And actually, because I use this gold wire, you can't even see it. It is so... Let me lift this. Can you see the little wire there? Let me point at it. This is the wire piece right here, and here's another piece right here. So that's all you want because it's going to create like a hinge. Okay? So let's put you down. Slide you back. Let's turn it this way. And now we've got a lid that opens up and closes. And it stays on there, which is the best part. Okay, now what? Well, my little candle. Oh, before I put my candle in there, I'm going to put a little bow. And I did have this ribbon. And I'm just going to cut about, 12 inches or so. Maybe 18 inches of ribbon. And just cut the little bits to get that. And either tie it at the very bottom down here or around this part here. And you can get some little berries and also hot glue them on there. And I'm just going to make a little knot. I'm not going to make a little bow. I'm just going to make a pretty little knot. And because I'm using wired ribbon, I can manipulate this. Just like that. Just a simple little ribbon. I'm going to do the same to this one. Put some wire and I'll be back. Alright, I've gone ahead and I've wired both of them and I put a bow on both of these, and now it's time to turn on our little candles. Place them in there. The other one. Place that in there. And there we go. They look really pretty in person. Considering that this part was actually kind of a fail, the rest of it is really lovely. Maybe you don't want to paint this, and if you put a ribbon around this part, then you'll be covering up the styrofoam anyway. So you might want to go ahead and skip that part. Save yourself $3 or whatever your spray paint might cost you. And I think it would look pretty if it had a clear base anyway, which is kind of a hindsight thought. But this is why I like to make these little crafts like this, so that we can see how they're actually going to work, if there's something that maybe needs to be fixed about them or done differently. And well, yes, in this case, yes, something should have been done a little differently. But either way, I love my craft. I think it came out really great. I think it's going to look great on the table. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel. I want to thank those people who have already subscribed in my channel. I really appreciate that. And thank you for the thumbs up. And those of you who have been leaving nice comments, thank you so much. I don't have a lot of comments, but the few that I do have, I really appreciate them. And you're very sweet. And thank you. Thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Enjoy.